Now we're going to be learning about for loops. Now, for loops are ways in which you can run code over and over again without actually having to write it over and over again. If you guys remember my little print statement problem for variables, this is an example of when a for loop would be helpful. So what loops do is they just repeat code over and over and over again, and it's really convenient. It makes everyone's life easier, and they're a really common sight in a lot of Python as well as non-Python coding programs. Now, let's find out how to write one. So to write a for loop, you have to write for, just the word for, and then the letter I, just a lowercase I, followed by a space, in, and then you want to write range, R-A-N-G-E, and then attach a pair of parentheses to the end of range. Once you're done writing all of that, you want to put a colon, which is one of those thingies that we also used at the end of our if statement. If I can find it. Yeah, right here. A colon. And now that we've written that line, we want to go inside the range brackets and think of a number value to put in the middle. So the integer that you put inside these parentheses is the amount of times you want to run this code. So let's say I want to run this specific piece of code 5 times. Now, let's move on down. And as you can see, it automatically creates an indent for us, which is good because that means we don't have to worry about all our code being misaligned and just having like an error. Now, let's think of something to write here. Let's say I want to print my name is Prosy 5 times. Let's run it. And we get my name is Prosy, blah, 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 blah. All only having written our string 1 time. Now you probably have a lot of questions. If I have a loop, then why do I need variables? Because this is just a really, really oversimplified explanation as to what actually goes inside a loop. For example, a lot of the time you find if statements inside of a loop. So like if, let's make some variables really quickly. Number equals 3. If number is greater than 6, print it's alive. The iconic Frankenstein line. And since if we ran it now, nothing would ever happen because our number is always going to be 3. So it's never going to be greater than 6. We can also use one of those variable incrementing things we discussed in an earlier video. So what we would do is we do number plus equals 1. If you guys need a little refresher, plus equals 1 means that the number will be set to itself, its previous value, but plus 1. So as you can see here, It runs. It's alive. So that runs the code 5 times, but the reason that it's only showing up once here and not twice is because this is at the end of the loop, meaning that on the 4th try, when the number is equal to 6, they've already checked that when the number is equal to 6, right about here, it's like, oh, it's not equal to 6, because it gets incremented later. Now let's try running it like this with a greater than and equal to sign. Oh, whoopsies, I commented that out. That was my bad. Let's try running it now. Oh, hang on guys, technical difficulties.